of course, too, another passing that happened a few weeks ago while we were off. The Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan passed away. Obviously, we both know him very, very well. What a shame, Kevin's passing. What did you think of the passing of the Taskmaster?
I knew he was sick, and I knew he had been in Florida, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because he was in a hospital in Florida. They couldn't move him, and they had
yep,
to move him. So a friend of mine and I were talking about it, and they finally moved him. When they had the picture, I think it was on Facebook or Twitter of him in between, and there were two ladies on each side. One was his daughter, one was his wife.
yep.
Okay, so uh, the last time I saw Kevin, he looked in pretty good shape. He lost a lot of weight, and he seemed really low key, which was good. But that's the last time I seen him. And when I saw this picture of him, he looked really like he needed help, like he was in bad shape. So um, I was getting these other pictures of Kevin, in bed and things like this, showing that hey, he's something's going on. So I wasn't expecting him to be around much longer when I heard he was sick and they had to fly him back to Massachusetts, put him in assisted living and things like that. So, what do you say to that? I don't know. What do you say to something like that? It's going to happen to us all one day, but you know, hope it's quick and painless.
Yeah, well, what a shame. What a legend the Taskmaster was. Maybe
I
one of the
Yeah,
smartest guys ever in the business, if you think about it.
yeah, yeah, and I had a lot of good times with Kevin. Um, and a couple of them he would always bring up when I see him because there were there were things that the business was so different back then, and Kevin was in such a position of power. Uh, he knew how to come up with ideas and present them. And he was telling me about we were talking about that one night and about how he wrote stuff down and had it laid out. He said they appreciate it when you do that. And I thought, that makes perfect sense. But again, I just wasn't mature enough back then to do that and come up with the ideas like he did. But he was very creative, and he he was great. He was great at what he did. He really was. He was a master politician sometimes, and tried to teach a little bit of that in everyday life, how to be welcoming and uh, congenial. I guess is what I'm trying to say. He knew how to work. He knew how to get what he needed done. And I
Yep.
would watch him do this, and it was always just one of the cool parts of the business to see how he operated. So, yeah, I was I was sad about that one too. But what do you do?
And the mastermind behind the NWO, one of the most successful storylines of all time that literally launched the Attitude Era, if you think about it. So
Yeah,
huge behind the scenes impact by Kevin.
yeah. Well, you hear Jim Cornette talk about when he was on the booking committee with Kevin, and just being there, listening and watching and observing uh, the intricacies, the little parts that you wouldn't think about unless you're in that circumstance. I mean, it just he was a trip, and he knew how to tell stories. He really did.
Magazine's got an interesting point here. It says at the time Chris Benoit had a fling with Nancy, his wife Martina was pregnant, so Benoit was shady long before the murder suicide.
Okay.